What's up, everyone? And this is the next installment of Mission Pro Wrestling's Black History Month series. I am your host, Candace Cordelia, and with me, we have Mission Pro Wrestling Champion Holidead. What's going on, Holidead?
Champ in the house. What's going on? Happy to be here. Glad you guys are doing this. Think it's really freaking awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
And thank you so much for being here, Holidead. We really appreciate you, and we cannot do this series without you. I mean, you are the champ of Mission Pro Wrestling, but also you are an important piece of pro wrestling in general today, being a Black woman wrestler. And, you know, I have to jump right into our first question about equality and equity. These are two topics that have been discussed more so than I personally think ever before within the year. And it's even becoming more of a topic of discussion, not just amongst fans, but amongst professional wrestlers such as yourself. What are your current thoughts about equality and equity in the pro wrestling space today?
As far as equality and equity in wrestling today, I mean, I think it's come a long ways, definitely from the 80s and the 90s. I still think we've got a long ways to go. I think every now and then, you know, the big guys, the big companies might hear like a little uproar or something. They're like, all right, let me sprinkle a little something. Let me put the minorities in the main event. Let me give the minorities a belt. Then quickly it's forgotten and it's like business as usual. And I think that's something like with Mission Pro, we're trying to make actual equality and equity a norm and make that business as usual. But I understand it's hard when you've been doing it so long, another way for so long. It's hard for some people to get out of their own way and get down with change, you know?
And when you mean getting in your own way, do you mind elaborating on that? Because some may not understand exactly what you are referring to. Are you talking about for the wrestlers themselves getting in their way, or is there something else that you see happening in the space?
No, I was not talking about the wrestlers. I'm talking about the people that make the business decisions as far as getting in their own way and not actually truly seeing equity and equality. And again, like, it's like giving us a little teaser, giving us a little something to make us happy for a while. Then it's like, all right, I'm back to doing it my way because that's the way I want it. You guys have been complaining. I gave you this. You should be happy. Let's go. Business as usual. And then business as usual hasn't always been good. It hasn't been equal. So, and that's what we're trying to come together and change.
And it's certainly within Mission Pro Wrestling, we're seeing a lot of women such as yourself who are coming from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, all coming together for Thunder Rosa's fantastic promotion. And a lot of people are really honing in on what you all are doing and really appreciating what you are giving to wrestling itself. Why was being a part of Mission Pro so important at this stage of your career?
It's important for a lot of reasons being a part of Mission Pro at this stage. Thunder, that's, you know, my best friend, and I've been along with her career from the beginning. And anytime she's had a vision or she's like, Holiday, I'm gonna do this, like, she's done it, no matter how long it's take or people that has tried to stop her or whatever. And like, she's a woman of color too. And like, you know, we've been on the road together and we both had to face these obstacles of people, you know, not wanting to book us a certain way or not wanting to give us our pay or only looking at us as women of color and that we're not equal to like this blonde over here or this blue-eyed chick over here. And again, like the whole Mission Pro, like the whole company came about, you know, at the height of the Speak Out movement, because Thunder was like, I really want a safe place for women in the business, because it's always talked about like, let's protect our women and let's do this and hurrah, hurrah, like something will happen and, you know, somebody will sprinkle a little something. We're doing this for you guys. All right, business back to usual. And no, we're actually like, no business as usual. Like, F that. Like, business as usual has been shitty to a lot of people. And because it's been business as usual, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut about it. You're not supposed to say nothing about it, because if you do, then you get blacklisted and then you'll never make it in this town, la, la, la. And we're trying to be that different company where like, no, we're going to do it the right way. If you have a problem, speak up. We want to treat everybody right. We want to give you your equal pay. We want you to be able to shine. We don't care what background you come from. If you could come in this ring and work, let's go. You don't got to be the blue-eyed blonde girl. You don't got to be married to so-and-so who's at top of the food chain. You don't got to be so-and-so's kid or granddaughter, second, third generation. Like, no, if you can go, you got respect for this business. You want to work hard. Let's go. Let's work. Let's make magic, you know?
That's powerful. Throughout your career, Holidead, you've touched a lot of people in ways in which they are so dedicated to your career. They love seeing you in the ring. You have so many fans that really appreciate you. What was the actual moment that occurred in which you said to yourself, my presence in this industry as a Black woman wrestler is extremely important?
I'm gonna say something that might be a shock to you. I don't know. Like, I think that's something I'm still struggling to actually realize to this day. Like, I guess people will see it. People always see us in a different light than we see ourselves. And I'm very, very hard on myself. So I don't always see the impact that you and others might say that I have, and it takes friends like Thunder and others in the business to have to pull me up sometimes, like slap me around, like, hey, you've done this. You are an inspiration to people. I think honestly, that's still something I'm struggling to see. If I can be straight up honest with you, but I mean, like, it's having those peers around that, they remind me, like, you do matter, you are making a difference. And even just hearing from fans every now and then, like, you hear one little comment and stuff, it's like, damn, okay, I do make a difference. People are watching, people are noticing. Like, it's hard to see. I'm not a very egotistical person, and like, I think I could be doing a lot more and stuff. So in my eyes, I don't always see it. Again, it takes people like yourself and others to remind me, like, hey, you are doing something here. If I answered your question, I don't know.
You did. And I think that's important to know, because you are a human being and it makes sense. A lot of what we see is different from the perception that the talent in the ring may see, and it's all subjective. For you, Holidead, who were your favorite wrestlers that you really looked up to watching growing up and seeing yourself and saying, I want to be like such and such, or this is something that I really want to do, and admiring them?
For me, I'm a big character person. I don't care what anybody say. What we do for wrestling, it is sports entertainment. Like, I'm all about the theatrics. That's what got me in. Like, Tatanka, that was somebody I grew up watching. The Undertaker, The Dark Side. I talk it, I mean it. It's truth. Sensational Sherry, Luna Vachon, Bull Nakano. It's like those characters, those larger than life people. That's like as a kid, that's what drew me into it. And like the theatrics of it. Like, I feel like if we lose that in wrestling, that's a big problem.
Mhm. Right now, out of your peers and people that you see really advancing in the ring, who are you really cheering on and rooting for and praising and seeing them get to these different stages of their careers in the pro wrestling space?
I think everybody knows the first one I'm gonna say, obviously. Thunder Rosa off the top. I'm gonna go ahead and say Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez, and I'm putting Eddie Kingston all in the same little batch because those are people that I've known that have always done it their way. Like, they were never, I'm about to go in here and kiss somebody's ass to get a job. I'm not gonna date this person to get a job. I'm not gonna try to suck up and be the boss's best friend. Because I can give you names of people who are in those top positions that have done that. Because again, that's always been the norm. That's been the status quo of our business. To do this, to get ahead, you got to do this. And like I say, those people, especially like Mercedes Martinez and the Eddie Kingstons, that have been in this business for so long and have did it their way and were never, like, let's say, sold out. They've never sold out. They've always been true to themselves. And finally the business came around and was like, hey, we see you, we recognize that. That's what's up. Also, Darius Lockhart's out there. Like, he's finally getting some shine from NWA. I had some other people on my mind. I was thinking about it. But it's a lot of people in the business out there are finally getting some shine, and they're doing it their own way. And when I say their own way, they're not doing like the typical. They're not kissing nobody's ass. They're not, I was about to name some people. I can name some people that have done it that way, and I see them, and that's why it's hard to be on the internet and people are like, oh, so and so, I bet they're such a great person. It's like, oh, no, they're not, and I can't, and I can't root for those other people because I know how they got there, and it's just like, that sucks that the business is like that. But I mean, those people that I named, it's like, all right, there's hope that there is a place for good guys in this business. Not a lot, but maybe that will shift the tide and whatnot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned shifting the tide because, as you know, in this business, never say never. There's always change, there's always things happening on a daily basis. When it comes to your career as it stands and looking into the future, can you see yourself jumping into any other roles, such as being a booker, even a promoter, agent? You're laughing right now, so I know this is going to be juicy.
I have never, ever, ever wanted to book, promote, ever. I'm a wrestler. I've never wanted to deal with talent on that level. And I'm about to say something, and I hope it doesn't blow up my DMs. But as of this year, 2022, I am the official booker for Mission Pro Wrestling. That was something Thunder Rosa and Brian Cervantes, pulled me to the side. Thunder, she kind of had a heart-to-heart talk with me, like, hey, it's time to step up. You gotta, be a leader for this other generation. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I guess I do. She's like, this business, you got an eye for talent. And I mean, like, I can't say it's something I don't enjoy. Again, it's not something I don't ever want to run a business, no. But I mean, I think I'm doing an okay job so far, and like just picking out talent who I feel like deserves to be in there, and like I see that they work hard and they're doing it about the right way. Like everything that I mentioned to you before, like that's talent I want to bring to Mission Pro. Like I know people that work hard, they care about this business, they have respect for it. They're just not trying to kiss ass and stuff like that. So anybody out there, please don't kiss my ass if you want to get booked. Like that's not like I don't get down like that. Like I'll tell Thunder in a minute, like, I like people reaching out to me that never said hi to me before or anything. It's like I'm not that person. If you show you got it in the ring, respect and all that stuff, then we can be about that,
Well, first of all, congratulations, because that's a wonderful job to have for a wonderful promotion such as Mission Pro Wrestling. But I hate to break it to you, Holidead, I think your DMs are gonna blow up a little bit.
Yeah, something I try not to announce, but when you asked me that, that's why I was laughing. Like, she put me on the spot. Like, who told her to ask this question? Somebody told her to ask. That's why I felt like it's a setup. Like, somebody set me up. Okay,
it's all me. But at this stage, I think it'll be really great. And you're in a position of power. Obviously, Thunder Rosa trusts you to be able to book and really look at talent and see how they can fit in the promotion. But this is in my opinion, it's a really great and awesome step, because now you can really, pave the path for the next generation, for the future generation.
Oh man, look at you! You're a wordsmith. You're a wordsmith. See. No, that's a beautiful way to put it. Again, like my mind is like I'm never thinking about it that way. Like that's something I have trouble with. Like seeing potential in myself. It's always a struggle for me. So that's all.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens next in terms of your booking talent and also your wrestling talent. We're talking to the champ. March 5th is coming up. No debe jugar. You're going to be up against Jasmine Allure, La Rosa Negra. I mean, this is going to be a match of all matches. What is it going to take for both of those women to seize this title from you?
I mean, I think it's going to take a lot from everyone in general. You got La Rosa Negra, the first ever Mission Pro champion, one of the fucking best wrestlers on the planet, like one of the most underrated, overlooked people in this business. Just one of the most good souls I've ever met, who has a passion for this. And like me, I feel like she'd live and die for this business. So, I already know, like, I already know she coming with it. I already know. And Jasmine Allure, she can be a pain in the butt, but, she got her little Tia and Tamara sister twins. They always up to something. But, aside from that, I will give credit where credit is due. I do think she is one of the, up and rising, like, as far as the next generation of wrestlers that's going to lead the way. I think she's definitely in there. So, like, I don't expect anything less but top notch from everybody that's coming in this ring, but may the best woman leave standing last, or whatever,
May the best woman leave standing last. Absolutely.
I'm not a wordsmith like you.
No, that makes complete sense, because no debe jugar. You're not playing around. So
no ma'am.
It is what it is. One thing that I've always wanted to ask you is what your first match ever that you've ever seen, what that match was, whether it was live on TV or in person.
The first match I ever saw was at a WWF house show. It was Virgil against Yokozuna. That is the match that got me hooked on wrestling. Like 2-minute squash match got me hooked on wrestling. And again, like it goes back to what I say. It's like the sports entertainment of it. It was all about the theatrics of it, the characters, them believing in their characters that got me as a kid. Like, oh, what's happening here? What's going on? And I think that's always with like something that can pull a fan in. It's just is we got to do that character work. We got to have the theatrics about it because we are supposed to be larger than life. And me as a kid, like those guys were larger than life, and seeing them and like I didn't know what the hell was happening. Yokozuna's killed Virgil in like 2 seconds, but I was hooked. I was hooked from the minute from the entrances. Like Virgil came out there energetic, you know, pumped. You knew he was a good guy. Yokozuna came out badass. Mr. Fuji just waving a flag. He didn't have to. You just knew he was this big ass presence. Like, oh man, you don't want to put that dude. Like, it hooked me like right away. Like that was the match that got me hooked on wrestling. Virgil versus Yokozuna, 2-minute squash match. I was sold.
2-minute squash match. Sometimes that's all it takes, right?
That's all it took. They did their job. Like they knew the assignment and they came with it.
Absolutely. And you definitely understand the assignment, Holidead. You know, thank you so much for being a part of this special series. We salute you. We see what you're doing, and we're really excited for March 5th. Mission Pro Wrestling, No Debe Jugar. Everyone that's watching, go to missionprowrestling.net for more information on how to get tickets and how to watch. You don't want to miss Holidead versus Jasmine Allure and La Rosa Negra. We love you, Holidead. Thank you so much. You are the champ. And do you have any parting words?
Thank you guys. Thank you for the continued support. You know, when I go in March 5th, I'm gonna, you know, go in like it's my last match because you never know what could happen in this business, in this ring. Any match could be our last match. So if it is my last match, hopefully I go out like The Wrestler. The movie The Wrestler is a top 5-star match. If I don't make it, hopefully everybody was talking about it afterwards for years and years to come, you know?
Amen. And that's The Wrestler. That's a whole other conversation. Maybe
it is.
talk about The Wrestler another time, because that's
sure.
a deep movie, one of my favorites. Thank you once again. Continued. Absolutely. To be continued. Thank you once again, Holidead. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, everyone, for watching this special Black History Month series of Mission Pro Wrestling. Once again, check out missionprowrestling.net. You can find Holidead on social media. You can also find me on social media too, Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, we'll talk to you later, and stay tuned for who I will be speaking with next.